Hey guys, and welcome back to another 411 on Tech Talks. We are your hosts. I am Michelle,
I'm Damien.
and we got a lot to cover today. It's going to be an Appalicious podcast.
Absolutely.
So, we're going to be talking about all that was announced during WWDC. So, again, we have lots to cover, so let's get right into it. Let's start off with hardware. So, first off, they revealed their new 15-inch MacBook Air. Damien, what do we think about this MacBook Air?
Well, yeah,
15-inch.
that was the one thing. So they had the MacBook Air 13, but some people want that 15-inch form factor. So now Apple has that market, covered because that usually was dominated by PC base laptops, and now they have that $12.99. But you are getting the M2 chip, so maybe a little bit pricier than the PC counterparts, but definitely the power of the M2 chip. It's a pretty light form factor. I can see this for a lot of college kids. A lot of people that want like something thin and light on the go, but they want that 15-inch size, and the 13 was just a little bit too small.
Yeah, and they're saying it's 40% thinner and a half a pound lighter than the average 15-inch PC. So, like Damien mentioned, if you want something lighter, I know we were kind of talking, and you said, well, if you were in college, would you have bought one? Now, I did actually have a MacBook,
Right.
but I mean, $12.99, the M2 chip, it's light. I mean, I don't know. I still feel like it's expensive for a college kid, but I mean, I know when I was in college, I got like that college Apple discount, so
Right.
you get a little off there. But I don't know. I mean, I've really been enjoying Macs. I liked having a Mac when I was in college.
Yeah, I mean, you get a really
So
powerful machine. That
yeah, and I mean, there's not a whole much to say. I mean, it looks pretty much the same as this MacBook here, MacBook Pro, but it's just thinner, lighter. So I don't know.
yeah.
I think it's nice.
So we'll
I
have to
think it's
see.
nice.
We'll have to see how they sell.
Yeah, I definitely like the 15-inch over a 13-inch, I think.
Yeah, now if you're on the go, like I know a lot of like people like the 13-inch because it's just easier to pack if
It
you're like
is.
stuff like that. But I like the bigger real estate when I'm working on the laptop. So
Yeah, I agree.
that's just me. So next up, for more hardware, they announced the Mac Studio had an update. Still starting at the 1999, so $2,000, but now it's available with the M2 Max chip and the newly announced M2 Ultra. So
That's kind of exciting. I
that's
mean,
crazy.
it's like how much more power can you get, right? And it seems like they're basically like they fused together two M2 Max chips to make this like M2 Ultra. They say it's 2 times the performance of the M2 Max, so I mean,
Yeah.
it's more power.
So basically, I look at the Mac Studios like the new iMac, but you obviously don't have the screen,
Yeah.
but they're way more powerful now. And you got the M2 Max and Ultra in there.
Yeah, and again, it looks, it doesn't look any real different. I mean, the design was fine to begin with. So,
Right.
I mean, what
Small form factor, lots of power.
if it's not broke, don't fix it. It's just basically putting in a new chip, and it starts at 1999.
Mhm.
So, it's a lot of power. 1999, you still got to get, a display. If you want an Apple display, you're talking a
The
lot
studio
more money.
display.
So,
Yeah, but
but
there are alternatives. LG makes some nice ones. Dell makes some nice ones.
yeah, I mean, we just got some new
Some
Dell.
Dells, 4K.
Yeah, they're pretty nice. Good
Yep.
for
Video editing. Yep.
and video content consumption.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, they weren't bad.
Yeah.
Definitely cheaper than the studio display.
Yeah.
All right, next, a lot of us have been waiting for this is a new MacBook Pro.
No, Mac Pro.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm so used to saying MacBook.
Yeah.
Mac Pro.
Yep.
And I guess you can call it new. I mean, it looks basically the same old cheese grater kind of.
Yeah, but that was a really
look.
efficient, like as far as
Yeah,
cooling and everything.
yeah.
So why engineer a new design if you don't need one?
But the big thing is now it's the final transition to all Apple silicon. So Apple is no longer selling any more
Intel.
Macs that are Intel based. So that was the last thing they needed to move over, and it automatically comes with a M2 Ultra chip. So you got like the highest performance you're gonna get with a chip. for Apple Silicon, and I mean,
Yeah, so I think like the big difference, like you said, the transition's finally complete. They have that Mac Pro, for someone that you don't want it. It starts at $7,000, so you don't want to get this if you don't need it.
yeah.
But yeah, that was the last thing to see if they could use these M chips and put it in the Mac Pro, and they have done that. Now, the
Mhm.
difference between the Mac Pro and the Mac Studio is the PCI expansion slot. So if you need that, get a Mac Pro.
You get 7.
Yeah, if you
Mhm.
don't, just get the Mac Studio. Up to 192 gigabytes of memory, 76 GPU core. So it'll be interesting to see the reviews on this and to see, uh, just how much you can get done. Because I already think the Mac Studio did eight, was it 8K streams? How 22 8K streams?
Yeah,
And so the
it's
Mac Pro could, with
nobody's gonna
yeah,
show me the person that's gonna do that,
yeah.
first of all.
So with the 192 gigabytes of memory,
Yeah,
you won't be
so
running out of memory. That was the main issue when you have that many streams of content at a resolution. So
yeah.
definitely, this is something is awesome. But yeah, like I said, don't get it if you don't need it. But the transition is finally complete. The Mac Pro was the final thing that we're waiting to see if they could pull off with these
Right.
with these M series chips, and they've done it.
Now my question is, what are we putting in these PCIEs? Because you can't put a, like, 4090 in there, 4080, something like that, and then they're already saying that these chips, I mean, 76 core GPU, like, it's I think I saw somewhere where it's, like, almost on the level of, like, a 4080 or something like that.
Yeah, so we'll have to see. What
They also, like, how I forget how many, but they're like, it's the power of this amount of afterburner, like,
right.
cards,
Yeah,
So what are you putting in there? Like,
I'm sure places like Illumination, um, Lucasfilm,
mhm,
studios like that, they'll be able to take advantage of this and those PCIe's, whatever they might need. But places like that. So if you're rendering like CGI
mhm.
animation and things like that, you can take advantage of it, and there's probably a use case for it there.
Yeah, I'm
Or
literally looking to, like, I'm just curious, like, what
yeah, if you're doing a lot of Pro
really
Logic stuff, or there's a lot of tracks and things like that.
I know in, like, our PCs, like, we put, a graphics card in there, might even have, like, a sound card.
Right.
I guess you could put, maybe stuff like that in
Back in
there,
the
but
day, the Ceton 6 tuner.
yeah, but I mean, what I'm getting at is, like, obviously, like, like, if you don't need that, right? Like, you
Right.
already have
The
more
Mac
than enough
Studio.
GPU power,
Yeah.
so Mac Studio, save yourself a little money.
Yeah, if you don't need the PCIe expansion slots, Mac Studio, I think that one, the high end on that was like $4,000. So
Mm,
still a lot of money.
it's a lot,
Yeah, man, but these are, Apple's coming out with some strong product here. Obviously, pricing is there's always premium
yeah.
with the Apple products, but the performance is also there. But at the same time, people don't get things that you don't need. So if you don't need that extra, you can save money there. Um, and get the $2,000 Mac Studio that's going to fit your needs.
Speaking of things you don't need, but you really, really want,
Right.
which leads us to our last,
Hardware.
it's kinda like their one more thing, so it was actually at the end, but,
Right.
just to cover all the hardware, is the Vision Pro mixed reality headset. Now, right off the bat, okay, it's $3,500. This is a lot of money. The market for it is gonna be very, I would say, small. Okay.
Right.
Not everybody has the 34.99 to throw at something that, I you might not use a lot, but it is I was impressed.
I was also very impressed.
It is amazing.
Yeah.
So, obviously, mixed reality headsets, virtual reality headsets, they're not new, but just from what we already know of it from, the the keynote and what like so obviously a lot of the reviewers were there and they had some time with it, like 30 minutes to an hour time to just play around with it. And everybody is like really, really impressed and it sounds amazing. So it just sounds like it's just that next step ahead, that next level, next gen. Like just like from what we heard about the spatial or not the spatial, well, yes, it does have spatial audio. We'll get to that. But the eye tracking. So we were really impressed with the eye tracking of the PlayStation VR 2.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just really it's so cool. Like you just look somewhere, like say you have a menu, a gaming menu up or something like that, and like you're looking,
You want to select
at a
something.
menu option, you just literally look and it's so instantaneous and it was very, very accurate. The eye tracking of this seems even more like that next level.
Yeah, it looked very good, and this beyond the eye tracking is just the way you interface with things with your hands, your voice, and your eyes. All that seemed very intuitive. So I can't wait to to try it out to see how it
Mhm.
is
Yeah.
and be able to do that and just to see because you got to believe that Apple's been watching.
Oh,
They've been
yes.
watching what Meta has been doing. It's the high end headsets like the Pi Max and the Varjo Aero. Those are, I think, is it the Varjo or the Pi Max? It's like I have an 8K and a 12K headset, I think.
Yes.
So they've
Mhm.
been looking at that and the kind of experience you can have with that probably. But those are pretty high end headsets, but I think they may be like 1,600 or 1,200 or $1,000 somewhere. But then you need a PC on top of that.
Yes,
So then
that's
you're
true.
you're at the price pretty
Right.
much of this headset, this Vision Pro headset that
Yeah.
Apple has. We tried out the HoloLens. The
Yes.
HoloLens, the field of view was just so, I think it's like 40 degree. It was just so narrow that you're like
Yeah, we
looking for
actually
the sweet, we tried out the Microsoft store.
right.
We're like looking for that sweet spot. And then that just kind of killed the experience for me. And then
It did.
they had that NFL thing that they were showing with the players busting through the wall in the game on your coffee table with the HoloLens, but that never came up. But now we're seeing that with this, and it looks like
Yeah.
that it's going to be ready. We got more things that we kind of talk about at the end, but it looked really good,
I was
and
like
I was very impressed. I
go
had my spectacles on,
yeah,
and I was
but
impressed.
going into it, I was really excited because again, it's Apple. Like I know it's so cliche, but they're always kind of late to the party, but they bring it, and it's like it's not done right until Apple does it. I feel like I'm a Apple fanboy or girl or whatever for saying that, but I mean, it's actually it's kind of true.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely, I think they said they've been working on this for like 10 years,
Hmm.
and it definitely what I saw, shows now that yeah, people are saying, oh yeah, we've done VR and AR, but just the kind of experience you can have with this. I think they're kind of touting as a new way to do computing because you can use
Spatial computing.
right spatial computing. They always
Fancy
have
word.
catchy days for things,
Yeah.
but you can use like the iPad apps, the iPhone apps, and you can do a lot of productivity things, but you can also do media consumption. So could be a new way of getting things done. You have to see like you know would you get this over a laptop? I don't know if you can do that kind of commute, but
I
when you
don't
get
think
it,
you can.
yeah,
So they kind of talked about so there's so much to cover with this. Like
yeah,
well, so okay, so first of all, like Damien kind of meant so it blends your digital content with your physical space, right? So that's the whole mixed reality thing, and it's just I didn't get so much of like, oh, this is a gaming, and I didn't expect that anyways with Apple. I mean, they're not like you don't think of Apple, and the first thing you think of is gaming,
right,
okay? But obviously, they're gonna have their Apple Arcade games and stuff like that that you can play with it. But how I'm looking at it is it's like a new, like a new, like the next step of how you interact with your devices, right? So instead of holding this up and I'm my phone and you're pulling up apps, you can do this in this virtual mixed reality like world and it's like in your actual physical space and like you have all your apps. And so how like they're saying to you're interacting with it, there's no controllers for this whatsoever, like you would have with your typical, virtual reality headset. You just use your hands, your eyes, and your voice. And again, it sounded like that eye tracking, it sounded really, really good. And the hands, like people are talking, you just pinch, right?
Hmm.
Just pinch. You just look at something and pinch, and it, again, we haven't tested it out obviously ourselves, but from the sound of it, it's very, very intuitive, very accurate. And again, you can use your voice. So I think it's really cool that you don't even need controllers because sometimes controllers can be kind of,
Yeah, but like for the gamer in me, like maybe I'm hoping that they might release some controllers or say you can use. But see, they would have to have. Well, they have cameras on it, so maybe they could do like the tracking with the cameras. But like you said, the main thing is not gaming with this. But it sounded like it could be one of the best VR headset as far as visuals. So I'm gonna want to game on it. So
yeah,
hopefully there will be a way. Now, typical with Apple, let's talk about like the way it was constructed. The looks of it is very
the design,
very
it's
nice.
very, very
Yeah,
high end. Yeah.
very high end with the laminated curved glass.
Yeah.
I forget what exactly the glass is, but that you know looked very nice. The aluminum alloy frame wraps around your face. It looked like as tightly well done as like an Apple Watch or an
Oh,
iPhone or an
absolutely.
iPad. Looked very very polished. Looked very nice. It didn't look cheap at all. Um,
Yeah.
the braided fabric head strap. Now, I gotta see how that wears, especially so I can think sometimes, it's obviously it's $3,500. You wouldn't want to use it if you have a lot of hair product in your hair to get it
Yeah.
all oiled up and everything like that.
I did see it.
But
It
is it
is.
resistant to that?
I
Because people might not like, all right, my hair's gotta be like super like, no oils and things in
Yeah,
it to like use it,
I don't know, but I did see it is detachable, which is
which
nice.
means you could probably
Now
but then
granted, it'll probably be like $200 to get a new one, but it is detachable from what
mm,
I saw. So, if it does happen to get messed up, then
you
you
can
can
clean it
replace it or
or clean it.
clean it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but yeah, that's a good question. And then my other concern with it is, first of all, it looked very much like what we've already seen in like the
And the
early
patent renders,
renderings and
yeah.
stuff like that. It looked very, very similar. So if you've seen those, and we'll throw up a picture of what it officially looks like too. But yeah, my concern is just like the one strap. So I know for me, like I've struggled with many headsets that we have, like trying to get the comfort there and like getting it like nicely tuned in. I did later, so like some of the reviewers, they did say, even though they didn't show it during the keynote, there is word that there is like a top strap, I think. Somebody did say that they saw a top strap. So that made me feel a little bit better. And it has like a dial to like lock in to make it, obviously fit your head. Also, I think when you buy this, I think you have to like, I don't know if you need to go in store, but it sounds like they
They take
measure
some
your
measurement.
face. They take some measurements of your face for the facial interface or light block or whatever you want to call it. So it, specifically is shaped and designed for your head, your face. So I think that'll help as far as like fit and comfort. But yeah, I don't know. So obviously we'll have to wait and see on like how comfortable it is and secure. But
Yeah,
yeah,
and another thing, like you were mentioning, when you're using those apps, it has like a digital crown, like on your Apple Watch, so you can dial in the amount of like immersion you want.
merging.
So if you don't want to see your apps in your space with like augmented reality, you can dial in like a scene, like you're at the beach or
Yeah,
like in some kind of other environment.
yeah, that
Which
was cool.
which yeah, that was very cool. The cable attaches magnetically,
Yes.
and it's plugged in through that battery, and that lasts about 2 hours. But another thing that I heard is that you can actually plug it in.
Yeah, so it did so I did, read that. So, yes, it attaches to the headset magnetically, and it says that you can plug it into a power source or into this
Battery.
battery. So, obviously, if you're on the go, you can plug it into the battery, take the battery with you. It's designed to fit in your pocket. I don't think they said, but that looked aluminum, like, that looked
It
very
looked very well done.
nice,
Yeah.
now. I think they're saying you get about 2 hours of battery life with it, so it's not a whole lot, but I mean, I might get you through. Oh, now, like movies, like if you're trying to watch a movie, though, like most movies are like a little bit over two
Yeah, I feel
hours.
like on the go, you're probably gonna do like quick tasks, but at home, when you're
Yeah,
just stationary, maybe watching a movie, you're probably just gonna plug it in. You don't have to worry about it.
true.
Consuming the media content, or
Yeah.
like you said, if you're not on the go, you can plug it in, which is
Yeah, but
awesome.
it definitely doesn't sound wireless. Like, I don't think that there's any kind of internal battery, right? Like, you either have to plug it into a power source or the battery. I think. I didn't
And
see.
I'm just wondering if they'll have the Apple Vision Pro battery pants.
Oh, where is our where is the oh, here we go. Is that what I was looking for? I
I
don't know.
don't know. It could have been a
The
womp womp, but
oh
the
my
battery
goodness.
pants, come on.
That
That would be
is
cool, and it
hilarious.
comes in different colors.
Or Apple Fanny.
No,
No,
I'm
no,
not.
fanny packs are like all the
I
rage
know,
again.
I
They're
know,
like they're
I
a
know.
thing, Damien.
They are.
Get with the times. Okay, let's see what else. Oh, so audio straps. So they call them audio straps. I guess they're attached to like the main band, right? And then so there's one on each side, and it kind of measures like obviously the room or whatever, and then it provides spatial audio, which is pretty cool.
Yeah,
So things are gonna be sounding good.
yeah. So if they can do like the Dolby Vision or the DTSX kind of deal, or
Yeah,
I think Apple has their own, like, they have their spatial audio thing, but getting those movies and that content sounding
yeah.
great where you won't need like a headset or anything like that to do
Yeah, so that's cool, and I'm pretty sure they're gonna sound good. I know our experience with spatial audio already, just with like when I put on the AirPods Max or whatever, like it's really cool. Like you move your head and like the sound kind of like moves with
it.
you, and
Yeah.
like you hear stuff from all around. So that's pretty cool. And then, like you mentioned, you got the digital crown, so you can hit that. It'll bring you to your home view, or you can control your immersion. The cable, we mentioned that.
Hmm.
Oh, so the power in this. Oh, so it's got two chips. Okay, it's got the M2 chip, which we're all familiar with, but it has a new chip now, the R1 chip. So I assume R reality. I guess that's what it stands for, and that's going to be responsible for processing all the data from the cameras, sensors, and microphones. And there is a ton of all those things. So there's
Yeah.
like, I think 12 cameras on the outside, there's 5 sensors for monitoring all your hand gestures and accurately mapping everything, mapping your environment. Inside, there's also 4 infrared cameras and LEDs. So that's for like iris scanning. So I don't think anybody can put on your headset. So it like scans it's like I feel like you're going to like the FBI or something. You got those iris scanners, you look into it, it like
Yeah.
scans your eye and then it like allows you access. So it'll like kind of do that. And then, okay, this is Michelle's headset. Or if Damien like puts it on, like, nope, this is not Michelle.
Right.
In my head, I hear like sirens and red lights flashing, but I'm sure that's not going to happen. But that would be cool. And then for that accurate eye tracking again, and like I said, that everybody is like raving about the eye tracking, and so I'm really excited about that because, like I said, I was super impressed with the PSVR too. So to imagine anything better, is
Right.
really exciting.
And then that R1 chip, is going to help with not having latency latency in the VR.
Yeah, I think they only said like 12
Yeah, so
milliseconds,
that's what makes you sick when there's like a lot of latency in VR. So that
which I
helps
need
with
help
that.
with because
Yeah,
I have motion
yeah, you're more
sickness. So.
sensitive to that. But another cool thing is with the camera, you could take 3D photos and video, so you can record with the cameras and then watch it back in 3D on the headset.
That was
And we love
amazing.
3D, so
We do.
more 3D, the better.
And then we can make our own, like, yes,
Make your own
a
3D.
lot of people are kinda like, "Yeah, whatever." We're, like, really excited for this. Like, that it's really like, you can make your own 3D movies, and then you can just sit back and watch them, and it's, like, a whole different like, you think of, filming, like, kids or something or some kinda like, you go somewhere, right, and you're filming on your phone, and then you go back and but this is, like, a whole new level of immersion and a way of, like, experiencing those memories. It's like you're almost there when you see it in 3D. and I thought that was really cool. Although a lot of people are saying it's like creepy and weird, like because like they showed like a dad and like I think it was like a kid's party or something, and he was like had the headset on and like recording them, and they said that was like super creepy. But I mean, come on, like what about back in the day when like the dad or whoever had this huge camcorder like
Right.
filming, like I don't know.
I
I
think
didn't
it's
think it was
cool. I definitely think it's cool, and
yeah.
like if this can help 3D make it come back and more 3D, the better. And I think they were showing that some of the reviewers were watching like Avatar. Now this is not making it 3D, but like watching 3D and consuming 3D content with this headset is also going to be great. So
Yeah. So excited about
yeah, I'm
that.
really excited about that.
Yeah, and then I assume that they're gonna have and Apple does this with their like the MacBooks, like if I'm recording, like I'll see a little red icon because I can also see the people being creepers too with this and like recording people like, so I have to imagine there'll be some kind of like indication on the headset too, like, okay, you're recording.
Yeah,
Hopefully.
but I don't know if people are gonna. I don't know how many people are actually gonna wear it in public. Like maybe if
They
you're on
show
like a
people yeah,
plane.
they show people on a plane.
Yeah, but like, I don't
And
think you're gonna be walking through like the Target or Walmart
no,
with the headset on.
no.
I don't think that's gonna happen. But getting to another was really cool part. So it's gonna be higher than 4K. They're talking 23 million pixels. The lenses are micro OLED displays, and they have 23 million pixels. And they're the size of a postage stamp. These displays, and then you have the three-part lenses, the
Mhm.
custom lenses.
Yeah, so they
Again,
I
the
don't know if they're
cha-ching.
because,
So
they have the pancake and the Fresnel or
Fresnel, yeah.
Fresnel? So they're not even know like, I don't know if they're somehow, like, built off that technology, I
Yeah, we'll
guess.
have to see.
But
Yeah,
yeah.
so that's a good step forward in, like, display technology. Again, another reason why I wanna game with this because
Yeah.
it's, gonna be, like, so great,
Now back
the
to
visuals.
gaming, so, again, they didn't talk they just said, "Oh, yeah, you can play stuff in Apple Arcade, whatever." Again, this is not gonna be like you're not gonna have I don't think you're going to. You're not gonna have, like, these AAA titles and stuff or, like, it's just not really I just feel like that's gonna be like a not the main reason for getting this, but they showed like somebody playing with like a dual sense controller
Yeah,
playing like NBA 2K or something like that. So you'll be able to connect, like a Bluetooth controller or something
control.
like that to game. So you will have that option.
Yeah, so it's like gaming on, like, a giant screen in VR, like,
Yeah,
we've seen that, but it's also nice that I guess that's included, so you do get some gaming.
yeah.
But, like, a full-on, like, 6 degrees of freedom
No,
with, like,
I
controller
mean
kinda deal, maybe in the
they
future.
did talk. No, this was just an experience. Part of the demo was they showed this like dinosaur, like it basically came out of the wall. And we've seen with our VR headsets, there was like a
The Oculus,
dinosaur kind
yeah,
of thing, but it's always the same. Like he comes out, he's in the same location, he doesn't really
interact.
interact with you. Whereas this was like they were saying he was like following you around, like if you went behind him or if you tried to touch him, he'd try to like snap at your hand. They talked about like a butterfly coming and it like lit right on their finger, and like they even moved their like they saw it coming, like oh let me trick it, and they moved their finger and it still found their finger.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
So I think that's really cool. Like what where that will go is like that extra level of immersion and interaction that you can have with stuff. So it's not like the same thing over and over again. Like it's
Yeah.
based on the different experience all the time. So I thought that was really cool. Another thing that was really cool is that I they're calling it eyesight.
Mhm.
So you're sitting on the couch and you're watching something or doing something, and say if somebody comes in, if you look at them, right, it shows it's not like your actual physical eyes, but it has like so there's the internal display, but there's also an external display, which I thought was really cool. And so it displays like a digital rendering, I guess.
These eyes. Yeah.
Like a digital rendering
Yeah.
of your eyes.
Mhm.
And it looks really cool. Like from the keynote again, from the video that they showed of this, it looked like they're like the person's actual eyes. And it just looks so cool because it's like you're looking through it, but you're actually not. It's a display.
It kind of helps, when you're using it and people are there, they can see your eyes. It kind of makes you more connected.
Yeah, I think so. I thought that was really, really cool. But then also, like, if you're really immersed, say you're watching maybe a movie or something where you don't want to be disturbed, it'll kind of it won't display like your eyes or anything. It'll kind of be like a it kind of looked like so like on the home pods, like you have that glowy like multicolored
Yeah,
sort of
that
thing.
kind of like,
It kind of looks something like that.
yep,
So it'll display that when you're like
a multicolor
do
aurora.
not disturb
Yeah.
mode, you will call it. So I thought that was really cool.
Yes, and then they have like I mentioned, well, I don't know if we mentioned, but they have like you can get optical inserts with your prescription. So
Yeah.
instead of the lenses that come, you can get prescription lenses. So you can, if you really need those, you can get those as well, and it
Yeah.
attaches magnetically. So
Yeah.
that's cool.
That's cool. Now, obviously, that's going to be another
More cost,
it's going to be costly.
right?
It's
So
going
I
to be
guess just have
costly.
your optical prescription or
Yeah.
whatever ready.
So for me, is it when you can't see far away? Well, is that nearsighted? I always get these confused. Is
Yeah,
it nearsighted or farsighted?
I don't wear
Whatever. I
glasses,
can't
so
see far away.
yeah,
So usually I don't need like my glasses or anything like that. So I don't know if I will,
right.
but yeah, definitely like if you have trouble seeing close up, you're likely gonna want to get one of these prescription
Yeah.
lenses.
Another cool thing is you can open up like the iPad or iPhone apps. You can move and scale them, and you can have more than one going at the same time. So simultaneous apps.
Yeah.
Um, but then the big thing at the end.
Wait, before so
Okay.
we kind of I might have mentioned it briefly, but so also so say if you have so I have my MacBook Pro in front of me, right? And I'm in my virtual, I got the headset on and I can just look at my MacBook Pro, and then this screen will then pop up in my headset
Y-
and then I can interact with it. And I think they said, you can connect keyboards and mice and stuff like that. There's also a virtual keyboard. And I know a lot of people were like, kind of saying, well, how's that going to work? Is it going to, but again, eye tracking. And I think even with your hand, I saw kind of like a little demo and it kind of, as you're getting close to a letter, it kind of like highlights or something. So you're going to hit the right
Key.
key when you do it. I don't know. I don't think it's gonna be like typing on a keyboard like I would normally, but that
Well,
sounds like it would be.
try it. It might be a virtual keyboard,
Yeah,
45 words per minute or more.
the price though. It's just, but I'm just so excited. But yes, another big thing that really blew us away
Yeah.
was
Was that Disney Plus partnership.
that's
And
huge.
yeah, and I guess maybe like ESPN and Hulu
Yeah, because I
kind of
know
made the
they
triple
all.
package.
Yeah,
So they showed like I think they showed some Star Wars content, but they had some specialized content that you can experience with the headset and gives you like more information about the planets and
and
the
you can.
ships and
I think
everything.
you can go to the planet.
Yeah, yeah, it looked so. So they're
Yeah,
probably going to have a lot of like content specialized for this Vision Pro headset for like the Disney shows and the Marvel shows and everything that's on Disney Plus. I can see like the National Geographic stuff, but then they were showing the sports, and it was just like the Hololens thing, but
what we
with this,
wanted but never got.
yeah, but we're actually going to get it where you're watching the game, but then on on a coffee table or like some kind of table, you can see an aerial overview of the game. You can see the players moving around, see different stats about the game. They popped up some Formula One, so maybe I have some content with Formula One that's been enhanced with this headset.
Yeah,
That was
they
really
showed that a couple
that
of
was really
times.
exciting. I mean, and just watching all the Disney Plus content on there with a giant screen. So like us, we like those larger screens, but like maybe in your house you can't get like a projector screen, but this will have that and having all that Disney Plus content, the ESPN
Yeah.
and Hulu content on there. Very, very strong.
Yeah, so again, I'll just I know this is a lot of money. Like even for like I'm like $3,500 is insane. And you you generally would like to have one for each person, right?
Yeah.
Like now you're talking about a crazy amount of money. I assume like if you want like, two people can use the same headset, I guess with the whole iris scanning. I don't know if they'll have multiple profiles or whatever. But it really is that next step. Like it's that one step closer to like Ready Player One that we're like always looking for, but it always seems to elude us still.
Right, right.
So, and then like just like the design, as many people know, like Apple is like the design is always baller, like it's really, really good, very good quality, and just like finally bringing like stuff that we've been waiting for and never got. Like you said, the stuff that they showed with the HoloLens and the sports, never really got that.
Yeah, never got it.
Now, like Apple is finally gonna bring it to us, and then like the Disney Plus stuff, like that's a huge partnership, and just like it's just a new way of
Experiencing your media, getting the
yeah.
enhanced experience.
So I'm super excited.
Yeah, that really sold it for
It,
me
it did,
at the end.
yeah. And one more cool thing with it is so FaceTime. I thought this was kind of cool. So you can use FaceTime with it. The cool thing though is, so you're thinking, okay, well, how do they see me? Right? I got this headset on, like what? So you use the cameras on the headset to scan your
Right.
face.
Pointed at yourself.
You're pointing at yourself. It scans your face and it creates this digital rendering or this digital avatar of you, and that's what they see. And so I assume so. The demo didn't show like a whole lot, but it looked very accurate. And I'm talking right now, like the avatar would like show your obviously your mouth movements and stuff like that. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, that was well done as well. So
So a lot you can do. I'm sure we didn't cover everything, but we're both really, really excited about this. It's supposed to come out early next year.
right. But then they said that Apple's gonna have where you can try it out in stores.
Yes.
So there'll probably be like appointments and they'll probably keep it clean in between users and things like that so you can try it out.
I'm sure a lot of people are going to want to try it out. Not a lot of people are going to buy it.
I don't know because like when the MacBook Pros come out and like we were just a few minutes late buying ours and we're
Yeah.
already backed up like a couple weeks. So
Yeah. But it still doesn't seem like it's not going to replace your
right.
MacBook Pro. Okay. It's not.
And then like yeah, like you said, maybe it might not sell out because the people are like, well, what do I need it for? Do I really need that?
Yeah.
We're super excited, but like we're like tech VR
But if
kind of people.
anything, though, okay, so it still takes things to the next level. So other people, Meta's already, Zuckerberg has some things to say, of course. But all these companies that create these headsets are going to be looking at this, looking at the technology, looking at what they come up with, find ways to implement it into their headsets.
Right.
So it's going
Competition's
to
always good.
continue to
Yeah. Move it forward.
move it forward. And Apple, maybe a couple of years, and they'll come out with the Vision SE or something like that, right? That's like cheaper, more affordable.
Right. I
So
think this is good for VR aerospace. It's bringing all boats are rising. With this, it's going to spark more excitement
I'm
for
super
VR,
excited.
things like that. Yeah,
I'm super excited.
definitely.
Not excited about that price though.
No,
All right, so that pretty much covers it for hardware. So we're gonna go through all the software because there was a lot of software. Obviously, WWDC is usually about the developers and like all
software.
that kind of stuff. So we're gonna go ahead and cover that. So there's a lot of software updates coming to iOS, watchOS, Mac OS, iPadOS, tvOS. Lots of cool updates. So to kick it off, iOS 17.
Yeah. So FaceTime voicemails. So that's pretty cool. You can leave a FaceTime voicemail.
Yeah, I think you said when your friends were like, "I'm never leaving a regular voicemail again," right? Like if
We're
you could
making a
just,
regular call again. Yes, I'm never going to use a regular call.
yeah, like
Yeah,
just
FaceTime everything.
yeah. I think that's cool because now like when you FaceTime somebody like after a period of time, like oh they're not available. Do you want to leave a text message? Well, no, I don't want to leave a text message. So it's kind of nice. You could just kind of like leave a little voicemail. Like yeah, I think that was pretty cool.
That was cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I thought this was going to be like they have the live voicemails. So if someone is calling, you don't know who it is, they're leaving a voicemail, and it's like transcribing the voicemail in real time, and you can decide whether you want to answer or not. Now on when I had my Pixel, you had the call screener,
The call
and you could like interact with like someone's calling, like tell me why you're calling. I thought it was going to be more like that, but this they actually have to leave a voicemail, and then you can kind of answer the call or not, but you can see why based on their voicemail, you can see why they're calling.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's definitely not the call the call screening, like, is still, like, one of the things we miss most about
Android.
Android
Yeah.
phones. It was just so great. It was like you have your own little, like, tele-robot, like, and it would just so, like, you would get a call,
It's
and
like your own
if you have an
secretary.
Android, right? You get a call and it, like, automatically, like, uh
Starts transcribing what they're
yeah, and then
saying.
you can, like, the little assistant will, like, talk to them, and, like, you can even, like, keep the replies and conversation going in that it's just really cool, it's just not bad. Like,
Right.
okay, fine.
It is something.
You're getting there, but it's still, like, you still have to wait for them to actually leave a voicemail. I guess it's kinda cool that so usually when somebody leaves a voicemail, like, that's like, you can't then, you would have to call back, right? Like, it's not like a you can answer it while they're talking kinda thing, so this kinda seems like you can do that.
Yep.
So, I guess that's cool, but
Yeah, that's cool.
I don't know. It's not call screening, so I was a little disappointed.
Yeah.
Alright, decluttering of iMessage apps. So this was not a huge thing, but it's kinda nice. So, when you bring up iMessage and then above, like, the keyboard, you have, like, all those icons for, like, stickers and your camera and this and the and it is kinda cluttery. So now they just have, like, a single, like, little plus button in the left corner, and you just tap that and it brings up everything. And I
Yeah.
thought that was kinda
Yeah,
nice.
that's more streamlined.
Yeah, and then,
Then they had upgraded stickers.
yeah, well,
So
I I don't know.
you don't
I mean, we never really they already have stickers, kind of, we've never really used them, but the new features sound kinda
Yeah, so
cool.
it's all live stickers, emojis, memojis.
Everything in one place.
Yeah,
Yeah.
all the stickers in one place, and then you have live stickers, like, you
Yeah.
can do that,
I thought
and
that was
animated
cool.
ones.
But you can create stickers using your own photos, so
Mhm.
I thought that was kinda cool, and then, like, it removes the background, so they kinda showed a picture of, remember during the demo, he had a basketball, I can't think of who he is. But anyways, they kinda showed, like, a little demo of it, and
Mhm.
then it's kinda nice, like, pops him out of the image of with, the gets rid of the background, and the cool thing is, like, you can now, use those stickers to react to somebody's text message.
Yeah.
So you can just kinda, like, put the little sticker on that specific reply or, message or whatever. So that is cool. I don't know if we're gonna I mean, maybe. I might try it out, but I don't think it's gonna be something I use regularly.
Yeah, I just thought it was, like,
It was kinda cool.
cool.
I mean
I might get into it. I
yeah.
might get into it, yeah.
I mean, like, I thought what the coolest thing was, like, being able to create stickers based on your own photos.
Yeah,
I
that's
thought that
cool,
was cool.
that's cool.
What else do we have
The
here?
check-ins thing.
Now, I like the check-ins thing.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking of, like, when we go on hikes
Mhm.
or, maybe if I'm alone and you wanna make sure I get home safe or, like or kids, like, maybe the parent isn't home yet and they wanna make sure their kid gets home safely or you have, like, a elderly parent. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
So, like, they call it check-in, and basically, like, it notifies your family when you've arrived safely, like, home, I would assume, or whatever location you're going. But, it also so if you're not making progress, right, to your destination or whatever, it'll also give it'll notify that, "Oh, they haven't gotten there yet," and then you can also, like, respond, like, "Oh, I'm stopped at the grocery store," I think, or something like that.
Yeah.
But I thought that was really, really cool.
Definitely for safety, yeah,
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
I thought that was cool.
Then there was upgrades to AirDrop, so now you can name drop, allows you to share, I think it was contact info
Yeah,
with
so
nearby iPhones.
I thought that was kinda cool 'cause a lot of times you're like, "Oh, well, what's your number?" And then you gotta like, I'll go into my contacts and then, I gotta create this is pretty cool. I mean, obviously, the other person has to have an iPhone, and I assume there's probably limits, like, you can't be, like, old or, like, on a old version of iOS or something like that,
Right.
but, yeah, I think that's cool, you just bring the 2 phones together and it, like, pops it out, you can share, like, your phone or your email, so I thought that was nice.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
and if you're, airdropping, like, really big files, this was pretty cool, like, so you can if you need to walk away, like, it's the file's taking a long time and you need to go to an appointment or something like that, it will still continue to download, I think it said over Wi-Fi.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
so that was
Yeah, we'll have to see
I
how
thought
that
that was
works
kinda
with
cool.
the large files.
And then so improved and more accurate dictation. I mean, we don't use
Yeah, we don't really use it a lot,
I
but
know
I mean that's still something.
your mom loves to
Yeah, she loves it.
she loves the voice dictation. So
Mhm.
hopefully it'll be more accurate and then we can actually understand what she's saying.
It talked about you mentioned the journal app. So if you do a lot of journaling, there's like an app for that to do the journaling.
I actually
Yeah.
think that's pretty cool. A lot of people journal. They say like there's been studies that it does help with your mental health and stuff like that. But for me, I just thought it was cool. Like, you go places, you do vacation stuff, you take pictures. You don't always get back to like looking at them or there might be like, oh, where was that picture taken? I just think it's kind of cool. It's like a way to remember like
The moments.
special
Yeah.
moments and stuff like that. So like photos that you take, I assume maybe even videos, and then you can like somehow like the journaling app will interact with that. And you can say, oh yeah, like I want to make some notes about this photo or this video. So I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
We probably should do more of that journaling. So
Yeah. I
yeah,
mean, I definitely
can get
check it out. I don't think it's something I'm gonna do on a regular basis,
maybe we can go on like a
but
trip or something. We might do
yeah,
that.
I think so.
Well, then they have the widgets are now interactive,
Yeah.
so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I think so. So then,
Yeah,
like if you're just trying to do simple tasks, then you don't have to open the app. So I think they kind of talked about like if you want to play a song, right? Like you don't have to go into that thing. You could just have like the little, things
widget.
right on the widget. Also, let's see what else. I know there was a couple of other um demos of what you could do with it. Let's see. Do you remember any?
I think, well, talking about like the nightstand mode, you can have your widgets like turn your phone landscape. You could have
Oh
like
yeah, I think that's separate, but yeah,
yeah,
yeah. I
but
did
you could
want
do
to.
it on the lock screen. I think the widgets
Yeah, yeah.
was
Oh,
that
I know you
was
can
that
do it
on?
on
Oh, that's
iPad.
iPad.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Another thing is mark a reminder complete. I know I don't know why I can't find them, but there's basically it's like quick ways of like doing stuff without having to open the app.
right.
So I think that's cool.
Yeah. So then next up, iPadOS 17.
Yes.
So they had like we just mentioned, it's more customization. So that's the one with the lock screen,
Yeah.
and widgets,
Yep.
wallpapers, fonts, and color options. So kind of things you could do on Android now you can do on iOS. Just more customization with the widgets,
Yeah, I do like that you
things you can do
can
on the lock screen.
I like that you can have widgets on the lock screen now. I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, you can do that. Live activities now you can also see on the lock screen. So like game scores, if you're tracking a food order, your flight information, you can get all that right on your lock screen. So that's pretty cool.
And the big one was the health app is now
Yep.
available on iPad, so you see more information about your health and fitness right there on the
Mhm.
iPad, and you couldn't do that before. So that's
No,
pretty
and I
good.
don't know, like, they said more information, so I don't know if that means, like, more information that you get from, like, the regular iOS version of
I think because it's like
that?
a bigger real
Yeah,
estate on the screen, you could probably show more things.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's cool. And then interactive widgets, for this as well. So, like I said, you can, quickly play a song or mark a reminder complete, without having to open an app, so that's kinda cool. And then moving on to Mac OS. So they're calling it Sonoma, so now.
Hey, racetrack,
Oh, yes, yes,
racing.
I did think of that
I
when
mean,
they
most
said
people think of it for the wine. I obviously think of it for racing.
and Monterey too. I mean, they had Monterey, and then, they
Yeah,
had
more
Laguna
racing.
Seca, so
Yeah.
lots of racing locations in California.
Hmm.
So again, interactive widgets on your desktop, so that's pretty cool. I think widgets in general, and then you can also access iPhone widgets. So instead of having to say you have a app on your iPhone, instead of having to re-download that onto the Mac, then you can quickly access those. I don't know how many and what apps. I don't think they covered that yet, but that's kind of cool because then you don't have to waste more space on another
Exactly.
device.
Yeah.
So
Redundancy. Yeah, absolutely.
yeah,
So Apple TV style aerial screensavers. Like, so I do love the
yeah,
screensavers on Apple TV, and now this is coming to Mac OS and Sonoma, so that's pretty
Yeah,
nice.
I do like those screensavers when they cut on the Apple TV, so that's kinda cool. And then Safari adds user profiles, which is nice. Obviously, Chrome already has it, so, I know it's something that we
We
use
use
a
a lot,
lot,
yeah.
so that's really good to have. And then they had some security updates as, like, privacy and stuff like that that they always do, so that's always good.
Yeah, they were saying game mode is smoother and more consistent performance is like you said, gaming and Apple is like not a big thing, but they're trying to make some efforts. Games, to get
Yeah,
more
I don't
priority with the CPU and GPU. So we'll have to see
but
where this goes. Maybe this is just the beginning.
and they did also so there is a new game porting toolkit that's going to make it easier for developers to port games from other platforms. So, if that happens, if that's the case, then this game mode would be really, really nice.
Yeah. So we'll
But
be
we'll
watching this
see.
with
I
great
mean,
interest
yeah. I mean, it would be cool if we could game on a Mac like we could our
on
PC. I
PC.
mean,
Yeah.
it sounds like they have the power now. I mean, if they can start equating it to like something like a 4080 or something like that. I mean, that's pretty good.
Bridge the gap.
Bridge that gap.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, and then one more quick thing is ability to save web apps. So like websites and stuff like that, right to your dock. So then you can, interact with it like it's just like a regular app. So that's kind of nice.
Yeah.
And then moving on to Watch OS 10. Now this was like one of the bigger ones that people seem to get more excited about as far as like the
OS up.
yeah, the features coming to the new version of Watch OS. Now, what I thought was the biggest, maybe others might not, is Snoopy and Woodstock. So Snoopy and Woodstock are coming to Apple Watch, people. Okay, so
It was a cool watch face.
it was a
Yeah,
cool watch.
definitely cool
So
watch face.
it's reactive, so like to weather and stuff. Like I think if it was raining, like he had like a little umbrella.
Right, and they were doing things with the out like the second hand and,
Yeah,
like, different things like that.
yeah.
So
So I thought
definitely
that was
cool.
kind of cool. And then so like there's more emphasis on like it's a big move to like widgets on the watch face. You can turn like the digital crown now and it'll kind of reveal like this smart stack that has like widgets and stuff like that, so they're going very widget heavy now on
Yeah,
the watch OS.
yeah.
So we'll see.
And there was, like, a cycling update to workout, so if you're a cycler, you like to cycle, there's a Bluetooth connection, some more cycling sensors, cadence, speed,
Mhm.
um, and, just give you more in-depth to your cycling workout.
Yeah, and then they're talking about power zones, so it kind of indicates your workout level of intensity, and it automatically detects your power meter and estimates your functional threshold power.
Mhm.
Um, I don't know what all that is because I don't cycle, but I'm sure like a lot of people that do are very excited about
Yeah,
that.
there was some other device that did this now, and Apple's also allowing you to be able to use the Apple Watch to do that.
Yeah. Now, what we were excited about, because we do like to hike, is there was a lot of hiking updates too. So, some updates with compass. So it creates more waypoints. So, like, cellular connection waypoints. So, like, maybe if you're starting to get into an area where you're going to lose reception, there'll be a waypoint of where you last had reception. So, if you need to make an emergency call or something like that, you can go back to that waypoint to make that call, which I thought was very good and very helpful. And then emergency waypoints. So yeah, so shows where you can call like a carrier. Also 3D view of those waypoints too, so help you like better find your way back to those. And then they talked about trail routes and to top of help me out, Daniel.
Topographical.
Words are hard. Topographical view. So I don't know if it's gonna be this good, but I thought it would be really cool if it was like so like we usually get like the all trails. So like I'll download the map and then like I'll get the offload version and everything, and then I'll have to put it on the Apple Watch. It's like a bit of a process, but if there's a way that I can do all that within like the watch, like it's already built into the watch, I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, and if it's topographical view, you can see like the elevation, you
Yeah,
know, what the terrain is going to look like
and
as
the
we're out there on the
yeah.
hike. Yep.
And I think they said I have 300 coming in my head, but I don't know. They have like a number of trails already available. When it comes available, they'll have a
Okay.
good amount of trails already available.
Hopefully, some of those in our area, which hopefully they will be.
Yeah, hopefully. And then finally,
tvOS 17.
yes.
All the OSs. Yeah.
Now I think this is cool. Supports VPNs now. So, you got another device if you want to watch content in another region that you're not in,
Yep. Yep.
like Netflix and I don't
Yeah.
know,
If there's some content,
Canada
yeah,
or
it's
something.
not on your Netflix, you can fire the VPN and
Yeah.
watch things. Sometimes, there's like geo restricted
Sporting
sporting
events.
events, and yeah, so I think it was the 24 hours of Nürburgring this year. At first, it was like geo restricted for the U.S., and then some minutes into the race, it became available. But without a VPN, I would have missed that. So,
Yeah. So that's cool that we can just do it right on there. We don't have to get like bring out the laptop or a
hmm,
phone or something like that. So yeah,
yeah,
I like that. And the FaceTime app. Now you can have FaceTime.
FaceTime, Apple TV,
Yeah. So they're using the whole continued what?
continuity.
Man, words, guys, words are
Words are
hard.
hard.
That word that he just said. So, like now you can use the camera like your phone camera like with your MacBook Pro, right? Like you get a better quality camera.
hmm
You can use it now. You can use it with your Apple TV and FaceTime.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, so I think that's cool. I think that's very cool. And then you see the
Right on your
participants
TV.
right on the
Yeah.
TV. I like it. But yeah, I think that was a lot, guys.
Yeah.
It
So
was
yeah, Apple really came strong with the WWDC.
yeah.
I didn't have any like AI stuff, but what they mentioned with the hardware and
No,
and this updates to the OS, and
the Vision
the
Pro
Vision Pro
alone.
was, yeah,
Okay.
definitely was like, I think that was like an hour within itself. So
Yeah.
they definitely, they have the full circle on the Mac products now with the Mac Pro having the Apple Silicon, so that was
Mhm.
strong.
Yeah,
uh, all the updates to the software, the OSs had some nice updates, but yeah, that Vision Pro like really sold it. So
it
even
did.
without the AI, was definitely, I would give them an A for this WWDC, and we're excited to see how the Vision Pro is gonna be. Probably gonna have to get two, so it's gonna be pretty pricey. But we're
Oh,
looking forward to using it, trying it out. Let us know in the comments below.
yeah. If you're gonna pick one
If
up,
you're gonna pick one
are
up,
you excited?
what were you excited
Yeah.
about? The 15-inch MacBook Pro Air was also a nice announcement that they made.
Yeah.
So definitely strong, but that's going to do it for this one, guys.
And you can find us on Spotify. You can find us on Apple, pretty much all the major podcasting,
Yeah, all the
all the major
platforms.
platforms. So check us out, and then we also have it on YouTube as well. And if you like us, give us a nice review. It helps us out.
Yep, definitely. The more you guys watch, the more we'll be able to bring you this content. And
Mm.
without further ado, that's going to do it
See you
for this
guys in
one.
the next one. Bye.
Bye.